All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're tackling a really critical topic: how to truly protect people and property in the world we live in now. And to do that, we're going to break down a key framework, NFPA 730, the Guide for Premises Security. So, let's start with a really direct question for you. Think about your organization right now. If a credible security threat happened today, are you confident your protection plan would hold up to the guidance in NFPA 730? This isn't just a thought exercise, it's a real strategic challenge. And it's exactly what NFPA 730 helps us solve. Okay, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about the modern security challenge we're all facing. Then we'll decode what NFPA 730 is all about. We'll get into the real heart of it, the risk assessment process. After that, we'll look at building a layered defense, discuss why this is so valuable from a business standpoint, and finally, wrap up with a clear action plan you can use. All right, first things first, let's set the stage. You know, security today, it's just not as simple as locks on doors and a few cameras anymore. The threats we're up against are way more diverse, way more sophisticated, and that means our response has to be just as smart. And this quote here really hits the nail on the head. It's not just about traditional break-ins. We're talking about complex issues, things like IT security breaches, the tragic rise of workplace violence, and even the threat of domestic terrorism. A modern security plan has to be ready for all of that. So the big question is, how do you actually build a defense that can stand up to all these different threats? Well, the answer isn't guesswork. It's about using a structured, professional framework. And that's where we get into decoding NFPA 730. So what exactly is it? Let's look at the official definition. Now, the most important word here is guide. I want to stress this. NFPA 730 is not a mandatory code like a fire code. Think of it more like a professional roadmap, a best practices guide that helps you build a really solid security program from the ground up. And this is a really important distinction to make because it clears up a lot of confusion. You've got NFPA 730 and NFPA 731. The easiest way to think about it is this. NFPA 730 is the what. It's the big picture strategy, the security planning guide. NFPA 731 is the how. It's the standard for how you actually install the electronic security systems you decide you need. And when you look at the scope of NFPA 730, you see it's incredibly broad. It's so much more than just hardware. We're talking about the high-level planning, the administrative controls, your policies and procedures, and even the physical design of your space. That's a concept called CPTED, or Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design. And a huge part of its value is that it gives you guidance that's specific to different kinds of buildings. Yeah, just look at where this applies. Healthcare, schools, industrial sites, corporate offices, retail, you name it. The point is, no matter what kind of facility you're responsible for, the principles in NFPA 730 can be adapted to fit your specific needs and your unique risks. Okay, let's get to the real heart of this entire framework. This is the engine that drives everything in the NFPA 730 guide. It's called the Security Vulnerability Assessment, or SVA, and this is what takes security from being a guessing game to a smart, data-driven strategy. At the core of the SVA is this simple but powerful formula: risk equals threat times vulnerability times consequence. See, risk isn't just some gut feeling, it's a calculated value. The threat is what could cause harm. The vulnerability is the weakness that threat could exploit. And the consequence, well, that's the impact if it all goes wrong. So that's a great formula, but how do you actually use it? This is where a risk matrix comes in. It's a visual tool. You just plot the likelihood of something happening against how bad the consequences would be. See stuff down in the bottom left corner? Low probability, low consequence. You note it, but you don't lose sleep over it. But those things up on the top right? High probability, severe consequences. Those are your critical risks. That's where you need to focus your attention and your budget right now. And the NFPA 730 guide lays this all out in a very clear 7-step process. You start by getting the right team together. Then you really dig in and understand your facility inside and out. After that, you assess the real threats you face and analyze where you're vulnerable. Then you can define the right countermeasures, figure out how much they'll actually reduce your risk, and finally, you document everything and keep tracking it. It's a cycle, not a one-and-done project. Okay, so once you've done your assessment and you know your risks, what's next? It's time to build your defense. And NFPA 730 really pushes for a concept called layered defense. You can also think of it as rings of protection. The whole idea here is simple. You want to create multiple barriers for any potential threat. It's not about one single perfect defense. It starts way out at the property line. That's your outer perimeter. Then you've got the building itself, the walls, roof, windows. Inside that, you can create specific control zones. And then at the very center, you put your tightest security around your most critical assets, maybe a server room or an executive office. Every single layer makes an adversary's job harder and gives you more time to detect and respond. And you build these layers using a whole mix of security tools. It's never just one thing. It's a combination of access control, cameras, physical barriers like fences, good lighting, and of course, well-trained security staff. The key is that they all have to work together as part of one cohesive strategy.
You know, what's really powerful about the NFPA's 730 approach is how well it lines up with proven safety ideas, like the hierarchy of controls that you see from OSHA. It pushes you to prioritize the most effective fixes first, things like engineering controls, where you literally design the risk out of the system, instead of just relying on policies or procedures.
All right, let's change hats for a second and think like a CFO or CEO. Using a framework like NFPA 730, this isn't just another line item on the security budget. It's a strategic business decision, and there's a real business case to be made for it. So, why does this matter so much at the executive level? Well, for a few huge reasons. Even though NFPA 730 is just a guide, it helps establish what's known as a standard of care. If something goes wrong, being able to show you followed this framework can significantly reduce your legal liability. It also protects your people and assets, which helps with business continuity, and hey, it might even lower your insurance premiums. Why? Because you're proving that you are actively and professionally managing your risk. So we've talked about what this is and why it's so important. Let's wrap this up with the how. Here is a straightforward action plan you can use to start putting the principles of NFPA 730 to work in your own organization. Here are your next steps, plain and simple. First, you've got to conduct a formal security vulnerability assessment. Use it to pinpoint your high-risk assets and the most likely threats. Then, take a hard, honest look at the controls you already have in place. From there, you can build out that layered protection strategy we talked about. And finally, and this is key, you have to review and update this assessment every single year. Security is never done. It's a constant process. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. NFPA 730 isn't just some document you put on a shelf. It's a structured, professional roadmap. It gives you the tools you need to stop just reacting to security incidents and start building a truly proactive, resilient defense that's based on a real understanding of your unique risks. I really hope this deep dive into NFPA 730 was valuable for you. If you want more advanced breakdowns of safety and security standards just like this one, make sure you subscribe to HSC Study. It's the best way to stay ahead of the curve on workplace protection and compliance. Thanks for watching.